They said no one should walk near the old shrine after sunset. But Abeni always did. She was a quiet woman, carved from grief and silence. Ever since her daughter vanished near the edge of the forest, Abeni had stopped laughing, stopped dancing, stopped living. But tonight, the wind changed. It carried something ancient. She heard it first as a distant beat. Dum, dum, dum. Low and steady, like a heartbeat echoing from the trees. The villagers didn't hear it. Only her. And when the wind whispered her name, not from her mouth, but from the soil itself. Abeni. She knew the forest was calling. Her feet moved before her mind could stop them. Past the lanterns, past the market stalls, into the mouth of the jungle. The drums grew louder. Closer. Not just music. A memory. A warning. A promise. And so, Abeni walked into the night. Unaware the forest had been waiting. Abeni's bare feet brushed over roots and fallen leaves. The soil still warm with the memory of day. The forest wasn't dark. It was watching. The drum beats throbbed louder now, echoing from nowhere and everywhere. Dum, dum, dum. Her heartbeat matched it. Her breath shallowed. She passed the old Iroko tree, the one her grandmother warned her never to greet. Past the broken calabash, still resting by the mossy rock. Each step deeper felt like walking into a forgotten dream. And then, a sound. Soft. Feminine. A giggle. Abeni froze. Ahead, through a curtain of hanging vines, a faint glow flickered. Lanterns, made of bone. No flame, just a strained blue fire, dancing as if it knew she was coming. Whispers slithered between the trees. She's here, she has returned. Abeni clenched her fist. But her body kept moving. She had crossed the threshold. There was no turning back now. The forest had opened its mouth and swallowed her whole. Abeni stepped into a wide clearing and gasped. 12 figures stood in a perfect circle. Faces hidden by carved wooden masks. Bodies cloaked in ash and red earth. They were not alive. And yet, they breathed. The drumming had stopped. But the silence was heavier. Then, without warning, the circle parted. From the shadows, an old woman emerged. Her eyes glowed like embers. Her voice cracked like burning wood. You came when the drums called, Abeni. How do you know my name? Abeni whispered. The old woman smiled without warmth. Because it was your blood they summoned. Suddenly, the masked figures raised their arms. The circle pulsed with energy. Abeni's wrapper fluttered. Her skin tingled. Memories not hers began to flood her mind. A river. A child. A scream. A betrayal. Tears welled up. What is this? She stammered. The elder leaned close. Truth. And then she pointed toward the center of the circle, where a single drum sat, untouched. Dusty. Sacred. And inscribed with her grandmother's name. Abeni stumbled forward, drawn by the drum. Not by will, but by blood memory. Each step echoed louder than the last. As her fingers touched the drum's worn skin, a low hum filled the clearing. Not from the drum, but from within her chest. She closed her eyes. Visions. A younger version of her grandmother, standing before this same circle, but crying, pleading. She tried to silence the truth. The elder's voice returned. But drums do not forget. Abeni saw it clearly now. The day the village cursed her grandmother, blamed her for the flood, exiled her to the forest. But she was innocent. They buried the truth. But the land, the spirits, the drums remembered. Abeni's breath shook. I came to know who I am, she whispered. And now you do, the elder replied. Suddenly, The masks began to move. Slow, rhythmic sways. Not threatening, but mourning. Abeni placed both hands on the drum and struck it once. Boom. The sound shattered the air. The clearing vanished in blinding light. And in that light, Abeni saw every soul tied to her bloodline, calling her name. Not in anger, but in welcome. The light faded. The drums went silent. And Abeni stood alone once more. But not the same. Where fear once gripped her heart, now stood purpose. Where questions once lingered, now lived clarity. She turned back through the forest, the path now lit by fireflies. As if the ancestors guided every step. The village gates appeared. Old wooden beams, worn by time and silence. Villagers gathered. Eyes wide. Mouths hushed. They had seen the light. Heard the ancient drum. From the crowd, a child stepped forward. Are you her, the daughter of the forest? Abeni nodded. No, said an old voice. She is the one the drums called home. Heads bowed. Not in fear, but in respect. Abeni smiled. Not for what she had become, but for what she remembered. Because now she knew. The drums do not lie. They awaken. They remind. They reclaim. And sometimes, they call your name. To bring you back. To who you were always meant to be. This is the story of Abeni. The one who listened. The one who returned. If this story stirred something in your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful African tales. Like this video to keep the stories alive. Share with someone who needs to hear the drums call their name. And comment below what part of Abeni's journey spoke to you most.